Okay, so this video is going to go through all of the exercises for your workout plan, and then you can take a look at breaking them apart each day and using them as you need to, as the email says. So we're going to start out with the lower body warm-up for the knees and the ankles, which is tibialis raises. So we come against the wall, we walk our feet out to the end range of our ankles range of motion. We tip forward off the wall a little bit, engage our glutes, engage our core, lock our knees out by flexing them, flexing the quad straight, and then we lift up the toes, hold for a second, flatten the feet back out. You're going to repeat this for 15 and 20 reps until you can do 20 reps regularly. Both feet come up, both feet go down. After we do our tibialis raises, we flip around and do our calf raises. So I'm going to brace my hands here against the wall to show it from the side. Well, I'll show it from the back. So we want to lean our hips in all the way, flexing our glutes, flexing our knees. That way all of our legs are flexing, pumping blood. Ankles at full range of motion. Bring one foot up, lift the heel, plant it back down. Want to pause at the top for a second, come all the way down, and we'll rep 10 to 15 calf raises on each leg, working our way up to 20 eventually, and you're going to go through 2 to 3 sets of this to get the lower body warmed up. After that, we're going to do kettlebell swings, low swings, high swings, and we'll also look at our pull-up squats. So, we want to line up, have our kettlebell in front of us, get our feet comfortable width apart for our hips to move through. 2 hands on the bell, strengthen up the back, pull it through, and swing it to the belly button height. We want to let the bell come underneath us, pull our shoulders back, and allow the hips driving forward to do the motion. So we're pulling back, lifting our chest, hinging forward, letting the weight come underneath us. We'll rip this out for 10 to 20 times, and then we swing the weight back down to the floor. That's the low swing. For the high swing, we're going to dig deeper underneath us and bring the weight higher up past our chest height. So same setup to start. We pull it deep underneath us and then raise it high. Here, we want to really bend the knees to get as deep under as possible. And we can either keep the chin tucked and let the head track, or we can look at a point in front of us. I'm looking at the door handle, allowing the neck to move a bit. Again, swinging down at the bottom to finish. We're going to alternate the swings with some pause squats, meaning we're going to pause at the bottom. So we want to grab our kettlebell high, hold it against the chest up strong, engaging the glutes. Then we want to sit down as deeply as we can, pause for a second, and come up. We don't have to get all the way down, we just want to get to that point of struggle, pause there for a sec to open up our flexibility. The knees can come forward a bit, allowing us to get in deeper. And we'll rep out 5 here. Alrighty, so that takes a look at the lower body exercises you'll be working through. Now we'll take a look at the upper body session. So we're going to look at bent over rows first. So we're bracing the hand on something. We use the bench. Today I'm going to use the stanchion in front of me here. What we want to do is create this straight line up where gravity is working with our wrist so the wrist doesn't bend. And then we roll the weight back as far as possible in line with our nipple. We can rotate a little bit here with our torso as well if we want to get a little more range out of the shoulder. And then we switch and do the other side. I can do it without any support. I can just support myself here for the same motion. So this is a nice deep range of motion here, really pulling it back to work on the shoulder mobility as well. After our rows, we're going to work on our overhead presses from the rack position. So we'll take the weight and then you hold it and support it as you lift it into the rack position. So we're going to put the weight by rotating it onto our forearm and then support it against our chest here. Then our weight shifts over into the foot with the weight in it, and we push the weight up overhead, returning it down. So you'll do your reps here, and then you'll switch hands Again, you want to have that sit gently on your forearm so you can guide the weight over, and overhead press on this side. So we can either really accentuate the hip shift, where we almost go to the toes on the opposite leg, or we can stay through both but really press the weight in through the heel on the left side here for our overhead presses. Then, to help work on our clean and press exercise, which we're going to work to, clean and press being rowing it to the rack position, overhead pressing it, we have to work on the transition of the uppercut so that the weight doesn't whack our wrist. So here, it's going to be a loose, open-handed bicep curl, which is the uppercut through the middle, and then you bring it to that rack position, and then opening the hand and allowing the weight to return down. So here, we're really focusing on the rotation and smoothing that out so that the weight's not crushing our forearm here. A lot of this is wrist strength. And then switch hands on the other side. So the hand curls in towards my belly button, up through the middle, so that the weight can stay going down. We're not going to grip it up like this and drop it. That hurts. So the bottom of the kettlebell stays pointing at the ground as we lift it into the rack position. Eventually, getting some speed with it, we can move it like this. Again, you want to use a towel to protect your hands on the kettlebell so you don't get nasty calluses. And now for the finishing exercise, which is going to be a partial Turkish get-up. I'm going to use the block here as the example. So with our kettlebell, we start with the weight next to our shoulder. We grab it, we bring it into place, we press it up. The weight that's in the hand, that leg straightens. No, I'm sorry, the opposite leg straightens. Bent knee, elevated hand, arm goes to the side, rotate to the side, push up to the elbow, lay it back down. Press the weight down, press it up, elevate to the elbow. Across to the other side, we bring the weight over our head, switch the legs, hand goes out to the side, weight comes up, press, and elevate. Now for you, you're going to alternate between a weighted side and an empty side to work on your shoulder range of motion here. So we want to try and keep the hand straight overhead, and then pushing up. And that will take you through all the exercises for your program. The reps, weights, and other information will be in the email. Look forward to the next session.